kind of do.
Yeah, you are.
It's me. Yeah, it's like seriously, like look at how well I can balance this. It's amazing. All right, so I have right now connection to both sides of my base. I know what's going on with this shoulder and with this hand. There's a great thing about the body that does have some symmetry to it. And so if one wrist is going to collapse, chances are both wrists are going to be feeling it. And so I know the health of this wrist here is telling me that this wrist is also okay. And I know that the shoulder here, when it's stable and not bouncing all around, means that this shoulder is also not bouncing all around. So I am holding on to the flyer through the base without really affecting the base's balance by making contact point at the foundation of both of them. Foundation of the base and foundation of the flyer through the base. So this interface here is important, and I can't get here because now I'm interfering. So here is all the information that I need. And then, of course, I got this knee bent so that if she goes back, it's not going to take my knee out. My knee is safe. My hips are in contact, and this leg is anchoring. So I have all the setup here to make sure that if the shit were to hit the fan, that I got this to rotate out. And that's the thing there, is rotate out. Now, I contradicted myself in that last bit by everything that I did when the shit hit the fan, is I took all of it in the part of my body that is the least powerful. I did it all in my hands. So what I did is I had a hand on the front side and a hand on the back side, and I didn't use my body to bring it in and down or bring it down. As I did, I used my hands and I lifted on one side and I pushed on the other, and I pushed with my arm. I didn't even really have the chance to get much of my torso into it. It was just the hand, and it was just the hand here. But it was done with such brevity that all I was doing was moving weight through space and never actually bearing any of the weight myself. Having the hand on both sides of the hip in there, so it's different. This is very different than this.
Sorry.
Some people. And that's what we're looking for, is to understand that we are trying to rotate the hips. So this should be very comfortable for everyone as a constant on both sides. No matter what's thrown at me, flyers can throw the wildest things at me, and all I'm going to do is try to brace with my shoulder, hip, thigh as best as possible, and rotate this off, and just let my whole body follow it. Make sense?
Can you show that one more time?
Yeah. Actually, before I show it, I just want to ask, what are my positions?
Foot on the shoulder.
Foot on the shoulder.
Other arm on the...
Yes, other arm right by the wrist. I want both sides of the body understood. So I'm just really looking at, can I understand both sides of the body? So this is more effective than this. This doesn't give me nearly as much information. It really does help to make sure that you understand both sides of the body. On top of that, this is more stable than this. This really has a bit of a lean to it and throws me off my own balance. This means that I am more squared of my base flyer. Hold on.
So, a lot of times in shoulder stance, people just kind of put it away from them to get the feet to the ground, straight on. The twist.
Like this way?
Yeah. The twist keeps it closer to you, or...
It really depends on what's given to me. But in general, I will try to not bring them back this way, because some bases, we won't name names, but it's not Chris, will bring their knees up when a flyer comes at them. And so I don't want to be the person that throws a shin into a knee. So in the bases, you should have your legs down and out of the equation. And when a flyer comes down, flyers, you should be landing on either side of your base. As in bases, that means you don't move. But in that's not a constant, I rotate out generally. On top of that, if I rotate out, I get to pivot on this foundation, which is better than it sliding off. here before the feet hit the ground. One second.
One concern I would have is that you're guiding your foot into the belly. Guiding the flyer's foot that's in the straddle into the belly of the base.
Oh, into the belly of the base. If they keep it, yeah. Acro 101 is just what I said, which is bases, if your legs are not in the balance, get them out of the equation. That means the knees go down. Acro 101 is flyers need to know where their base is at all times and not come down on them. 101.